Hello everyone, welcome back to Matrix lecture series. As you know, we are discussing the topic of operations on matrices and this is the continuation video. In the last lecture, we discussed till example 8. Today, we are going to continue with example number 9. So let's get started. Here, the example number 9 we are going to discuss. In example number 9, we have to find x and y. What are x and y? X and y are nothing but the matrices. What we are given? We are given x plus y and x minus y. So simply what we can do, the first idea that came in our mind to solve this is to basically add these two matrices x plus y and x minus y. We are given that x plus y is this matrix and x minus y is this matrix, right? So the first idea that came in our mind is to add these matrices, right? If we add these matrices, what would happen? That both the y matrices get cancelled, and what we left with 2x. Now you will be thinking that why we are doing this elimination, which is quite similar to the equations of real number. Actually, we are not doing elimination. Actually, I am trying to explain you via elimination, but actually the elimination is not going to happen here. It is simply the subtraction that is taking place here. As you know, subtraction is one of the operations that we can do in the matrices. So this is one of the operation that we are doing right now. When we add these two matrices, basically the two y matrices get subtracted by itself. I hope it is clear to you. So simply the author here added the two matrices x, this both these two matrices, it is been added and it will result in a matrix 2x. The matrix which we get here is nothing but 2x. So I can simply divide whole by 2. What would remain? I would remain with x only, and this is simply the scalar multiplication with a matrix, right? As a consequence, I will get my x matrix. Hope it is clear. Similarly, in the similar manner, I can subtract both these two given matrices, x plus y and x minus y. If I subtract, what would happen? See, if I subtract these, then it will get cancelled out and I would left with 2y. This is what I wanted. I wanted to find x and y. I have already found x matrices. Now my next task is to find y matrices. In the similar manner, I can add both of these matrices. What I would remain with? I would remain with 2y. That this is the 2y matrices. When I divide by 2, then I will remain with the y matrices. Hope it is also clear to you. This is very simple, and this is an important question also. This type of questions can very frequently be asked in 1 marker, so you need to pay attention here. Hope it is clear to you. Now moving ahead to example number 10. What does example number 10 says? It says we have to find the value of x, y from the following equation. This is a sort of equation which is given to us, right? What is our task? Our task is to find x and y. How we will approach this? Basically, we are clueless. Okay, we are clueless here that what we have to do. Just what we will do, we will simply simplify it. Nothing else. We will simply simplify it. We will first multiply this scalar with this matrix. This is the very first thing that came in our mind to do after looking at this matrix, after looking at this equation, sorry. So just simply multiply 2 with this matrix. After that, add this with this matrix. What we remain? We remain with such type of equation, right? Now the next thing that come in our mind is that here equality sign is given. So what we know? We know that two matrices are equal when they have the same order. Might be you have remembered the condition that they should have same order and the corresponding elements are equal. These are the two conditions. So we have given with the equality, also the order is same. So the thing that next is remaining is to equate these corresponding elements. Basically 2x will be equated with 7, 2y minus 4 will be equated with 14. Why? The answer of y is because equality is given. We have given with the equality already. So just simply simplify this equation, solve this equation, solve this equation, we get x and y. This is the x value, this is the y value. This is nothing much complicated. We need not to even bother that what we have to, how we have to approach. What we have to do here is just simply simplify what is given to us. This is a sort of equation which is given to us. That first thing that came in our mind is to simplify it. Just simply make it a matrix by scalar multiplication, then add these two matrices. As a result, what we get? We get another matrices after solving this, and since this matrix is equals to this, so we can use the idea of equality of matrices, right? Hope it is also clear to you. Now next example, example number 11. This is a very beautiful example and a sort of application in real life. What we are given? We are given that there are two farmers, Ramkishan and Guru Charan Singh. Both of them cultivate the various varieties of rice. We have given with the three varieties: Basmati, Parmal and Nora. These are the three varieties. Okay, and we are given with the sales in the month of September and sales in the month of October. See, this is how we have used the concept of matrices, or we have used the matrices in order to make the data in a structured way, in order to present it in a structured way. So now let's quickly solve this question. What we have asked, we have to find the combined sale in the September and October for each farmer. Now this is the sale in the month of September, this is in the month of October. Just simply add these two matrices. The matrix which we get is the sale, combined sale in both September and October for each farmer. Now which sale belongs to which farmer? This first row belongs to Ramkishan and this second row belongs to Guru Charan. Even the data, the matrix is telling us which variety is sold at what cost. Like Basmati is sold at 15,000 and the same variety of Basmati is sold at 70,000 for Guru Charan Singh, right? So our first question is to find the combined sale. We have simply add them because we have to find combinedly that what is the sales. We have given the sales individually, we have to combine it. That's it. Now the second part which is asked here is find the decrease in the sales from September to October. We have to find what is the decrease in the sale, how much the sale has decreased. We have to find this. This is basically to find the difference in the sale of the 2 months. So the difference thing is there, so we will simply subtract them, right? This is the difference of the sale. Now you might be thinking that why we are subtracting A, why we are subtracting B from A, right? You need not to bother about this. You can subtract anything. You can also compute this matrix B minus A. What will be the resultant matrix? At the result you will get a negative sign. What would this negative sign represent? This negative sign would represent that the sales has decreased. Now the positive sign is saying that the sales has increased, right? The sale in the September was much higher in comparison with the October. In the October the sale was lesser and it has increased in the September. Hope it is clear to you also. Now moving ahead, what is the next question, next part which we have asked? We have to find if both farmer receives 2% profit. Okay, we have to find basically the profit, compute the profit. We have to find the profit for each farmer. For both of the farmers we have to compute the profit, and profit for the sale in the month of October. Basically we are already given the data of the sale. we have to find the profit. It is given to us that both the farmers are having profit of 2% on the gross sale, that is the total sale that a farmer is selling. At this total sale amount, the 2% is their profit, right? And why we are seeing the sales of October only? Because we have to find the profit in the month of October. So just simply find the 2% of this matrix B. What is 2%? 2% is nothing but 2 upon 100. So it is 0.02 of B matrix. Isn't it looking something like multiplication of a scalar with a matrix, right? So the thing we have to do here is just simply multiply the 2% with the matrix B. What we get? We get this matrix. What does this matrix represent? This matrix represents the profit that the two farmers are earning in the month of October. It is, the matrix is showing that Ramakrishna is having profit of 100 rupees on selling basmati rice in the month of October. It is showing that Ramkishan is earning the profit of 200 rupees on the sale of the Parmal rice. It is showing that Ramkishan is earning the profit of 120 rupees on this variety of rice. Similarly, Gurcharan Singh is also earning the profit of 400, 200 and 200 respectively on the sale of Basmati, Parmal and Nora. These three varieties. Now, in your CUET examination, the examiner can directly ask that what is the profit of second farmer in the sale of the second variety of rice. Then you have to report this answer, 200, because this is the profit of farmer, 200 is the profit of farmer Gurucharan in the selling of this particular variety. The examiner can ask any other question also. He may ask the profit in the basmati rice for Ramkishan. The examiner can also ask that what is the profit of the farmer in the month of September. Now again, you can, whatever the profit is given, whatever the percentage of profit is given to you, you have to simply multiply that percentage with the total sale. Actually, the question itself is giving you the hint that why we are multiplying the total profit on the sale. We have to find the profit on the gross sale. It is given here that both the farmers receive 2% profit on the gross sale. Gross sale means total sale. The total sale that they are selling, they are earning 2% profit on that sale. In the exam, the examiner can also ask you what is the net profit in the combined sale. Then in that case, you have to find the 2% or 3%, whatever the profit is given. Let's say 2% profit is given, then you have to find the 2% of one A plus B matrices. You can easily find the 2% of this matrix, right? And then he may ask that what is the profit of Ramkishan after selling the Parmal rice variety. Then you can easily report the answer, 30,000. Hope it is clear. From this particular question, various questions can be asked. This is a sort of case study type question, so you can very well understand this, right? Now moving ahead to the next concept. The next concept is of multiplication of matrices. Now we have seen two operations, actually three operations we have seen. What all operations we have seen? We have seen the addition. Okay, let me write it in the short. We have seen addition, we have seen subtraction, we have also seen scalar multiplication, right? We have not seen the multiplication of two matrices. We have seen the multiplication of a matrix with a scalar. Now what we are going to deal with? We are going to deal with the multiplication between the two matrices. Now, okay, let's understand this with the help of an example. Here a very beautiful depiction is shown to you that how we proceed the multiplication. Basically, first row and first column, first row, second column, second row, first column, second row, second column. This is how we do the multiplication. But before multiplying, one thing that you must have to remember or you must have to check is that whether the multiplication is defined or not. Can we even multiply or not? How we will check this? We will actually check this by checking the order. This is very important thing. Suppose, let me explain you with the help of example. If it is not written here, let me check first. Okay, so let's try to understand with this example. As you can see, this A matrix has the order of 2 cross 2. This B matrix has the order of 2 cross 3. Now multiplication is defined if and only if the column and these are same. The column of first is the number of column in the first matrix is same as number of rows in the second matrix. If they are same, as in this case both of them are 2, the number of rows as the number of columns in matrix A and the number of rows in matrix B are same, both are equals to 2, so we can very easily multiply them. Multiplication is actually defined here, and the resultant matrix which we get is this remaining 2 and 3. That means we will get a matrix of 2 by 3. This is very important concept. Whenever you are going to multiply two matrices, you have to first check whether the multiplication is defined or not. Let me give you a more general example. Suppose that we have one matrix of order m cross n and another matrix of order n cross l. Then the multiplication between the two matrices, if this is matrix एक second, yes, if this is matrix A, this is matrix B, then the multiplication between these two matrices are defined if and only if the number of columns in A is equals to number of rows in B. Okay, and the resultant matrix, the AB matrix, this particular matrix has the order of m cross L. Now if you ask me that whether the multiplication BA is defined or not, let me check. Let me explain you. The matrix B has order n cross L and A has order m cross n. Check, is the number of columns in B is same as number of rows in A? No, they are not same. Here it is L, here it is M. L and M are different, so this multiplication BA is not defined. Since it is not defined, so we cannot find BA. Hope it is clear to you. Now you have understood that how we check that whether the multiplication is defined or not. Now let's proceed that how we do the multiplication. As I have explained you here also, the same way we proceed here. Basically multiply this row with this column. Okay, we have to multiply this row and this column. How we will do this? We will simply multiply the corresponding elements. 6 is multiplied with 2, 9 is multiplied with 7. When we multiply them, what do we get? We get this first element. Okay, similarly first row, then this column. How we will multiply it? We will multiply it in this way. 6 is multiplied with this 6, 6 is multiplied with this 9. What we get? We get this entry. Next, we will multiply this with this column. How we will multiply? Again the same. This 6 is multiplied with this 0, this 9 is multiplied with this 8. We get this entry. We will proceed in the similar manner. Multiply this row with this column, then this row with this column, then this row with this column. As a result, we get this and these various entries we get after multiplication. Then after this, you can very simply simplify it, right? 6 to the 12 and 9 7 the 63. We can simply write this and add them. Similarly, we can do all these calculations. It is very simple. The two things I want to again summarize. First, check whether the multiplication is even defined or not. After checking, how you will check? You will basically see that whether we are multiplying AB or BA. If we are multiplying AB, then check the number of columns in B is equals to number of rows. The number of columns in A is equals to the number of rows in B. If the number of columns in A is equals to number of rows in B, then the multiplication is defined. And how we will do the multiplication? Multiplication is done can be done very simply. Just multiply this row with this column, this row with this column, this row with this column, then this row, this column, this row, this column, this row, this column. Very simply, I can yes. Here is one more example. With this example, you will be very much clear that how we will do the multiplication and how we will check whether multiplication is defined or not. Let's see. We are given with A matrix. Okay, A matrix is given to us. Let's first check the order. What is the order? 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is the order. B matrix is given. What is the order? Order 3 by, what is the order? 3 by 2. Now see, the number of columns in A is equals to the number of rows in B. Therefore A, B is defined. Check whether BA is defined or not. Let me check. When I will compute BA, then how I will write? I will write like this. I will first write 3 by 2, then 2 by 3. I will compute like this. I will check like this. Again, let's see. The number of columns in B is equals to the number of rows in A. So this multiplication, which multiplication? BA is also defined. Hope it is clear to you. Now after checking that whether the multiplication is defined or not, we will proceed with that multiplication. How we will do? Multiply this row with this column. When I multiply this row with this column, I got this entry. Right? You can see, when I multiply this row with this column, I got this entry. When I multiply this row with this column, I got this entry. When I multiply this row with this column, I get this entry. Now after simplification, I get this matrix. This is the AB matrix. This matrix is the AB matrix. Similarly, we can find BA. Why we are able to find BA? We are able to find BA because we have already checked that the order are very consistent. The order are consistent, therefore the multiplication is defined. Therefore we are able to multiply BA. How we will multiply? Again, this row, this column, we get this entry. This row, this column, we get this entry. This row, this column, we get this entry. After we are done with all the columns, we will move to next row. This row, this column, we get this. This row, this column, we get this. Similarly, you can do all other. Now, where one important concept is being demonstrated here, which is that AB and BA are not equal. See, both AB and BA, both these multiplication are well defined. We are also getting a good matrix here, but the two matrices are not equal. What does this reflecting? This reflecting that AB is not equals to BA. This is implying that in the matrix multiplication, the commutative law does not hold. Now one question arises that whether this law of commutativity never holds in the multiplication of matrices. No, this is not so. Sometimes it holds, sometimes it is not holding. When it holds, when does the commutativity holds in the matrix multiplication? The commutativity holds in case of inverses, when the matrix given to us is an invertible matrix. In that case, when the inverse of a matrix is existing, in that case the commutativity holds. Otherwise, in case the matrix is not invertible, that is, it is a singular matrix, in that case the matrix multiplication is non-commutative. Hope this is clear to you. Now moving ahead to example number 14. In example number 14, we are given with A, B matrix, then AB is this and BA is this. clearly. Actually, okay, in this example it is shown that AB and BA both are defined here, but clearly AB is not equals to BA. What does this implying? It is implying that the matrix multiplication is not commutative. Again, one more time, does the matrix multiplication is not commutative always? No, sometimes it is commutative, sometimes it is not commutative. When it is commutative only when the matrix given to us is a invertible matrix. That means it has inverse. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. For today it is the we will discuss up to here only. Further topics we will discuss in the next class. Till then, keep studying, and in case you have any doubt, write it in the comment section, and do connect with various social media handles of EduShield. Thank you.